Hello everybody. Once you see the live come up, go ahead and share it with your friends, your family. I'll wait a few minutes before we get started so that you guys can go ahead and share this video. All right? Take your time. All right, those of you that are coming in, I see a couple people in already. Come on in, and as you come in, can you please share this video? Share. All right, share it with everybody you know, your friends, your family, and if you are still gathering your ingredients, go ahead and do that. We'll take a couple minutes just to kind of get everything together, and then we'll get started cooking. All right. Is it 12:30 yet? We have 3 minutes. All right. So about 3 more minutes as everybody is coming in. Let's go down the list of things you're gonna need, and then we will get started. So you're gonna need chicken, cream of chicken. You're gonna need cheese. You're going to need some rice, whatever kind of rice you want is fine. You're just gonna need rice. Frozen broccoli, a bag of frozen broccoli. Of course, you can use chicken breast, chicken tenderloins, any type of chicken that you would like to use. Or if you don't want to use any meat, you don't have to. Also, if you don't like broccoli, you can use spinach. You can use any vegetables that you want. But I like mine with broccoli. All right. So, and then of course you have your seasonings. I have onion powder, some minced roasted garlic, salt, pepper, little Mrs. Dash. Those are just things that I like. Like I said, this recipe is interchangeable, so you can kind of add whatever it is that you like, but we'll run over everything together. All right, let's see what our time is looking like. All right, we'll wait about 1 more minute longer, and we will get started, okay? Just making sure everybody has everything. You're gonna need some type of pan like this. You can use a casserole dish, anything like that, okay? And you're gonna need a bowl to kind of mix things up with, okay? So grab all of these things and we will be ready to start. All right? Let's see, is our time? And it is time, all right? So let's go ahead and get started. So first steps first, what we wanna do is we wanna get our bowl like this, all right? We have our bowl, and all we're gonna do with this bowl is we're going to start adding our cream of mushroom soup. So this is my bowl of cream of mushroom soup, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add it. I'll take a spatula like this. I'll just add this soup to my big bowl. All right? Now, listen guys, Chef Ashley is in the comments, so if I don't catch one of your questions, and you guys can feel free to ask us any questions. But if I don't catch it, Chef Ashley's in the comments, and she can answer any questions that you have, okay? All right, so this is our cream of chicken soup. It's just that, all right? So now I have a bowl of some water. So I'm gonna add, I have 2 cups of water. I'm probably not gonna need 2 cups of water. So I'll take a whisk like this and just kind of whisk about a cup of that water in. And we'll see if it's the right consistency after we whisk that 1 cup in. All right, so that's what we have after about 1 cup. And I like mine to be a little thinner, so I'll go ahead and add a little bit more water, all right? About that much, about a half a cup more. Okay, we're just gonna whisk that around until it's about that consistency. All right? And literally, that's all we do to prepare the cream of mushroom. All right? So I'll go ahead and get rid of my whisk. Then what we wanna do is we wanna go ahead and start seasoning. Now, I like to use this stuff, all right? It's just a simple stir-in garlic paste. And the reason I like to use it is because the the flavor gets all around. And it's really cool to kind of use something like that, all right? So I'll go ahead and start mixing that in. I also like to use roasted garlic like this. I'm a garlic fan. Some people don't like it, but I'm a garlic fan. So if you don't like it, you definitely don't have to add it. But I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of minced garlic. All right, there we go. Laura said, we said 12:30. It's definitely 12:30. I started a few minutes early just so everybody could come in and get their ingredients. All right, so now I have some garlic and herb Mrs. Dash. Garlic and herb Mrs. Dash. I'm just gonna pour some of that in the mixture, all right? Now I have onion and herb, all right, Mrs. Dash. And I like to use Mrs. Dash because they're salt-free. They don't have any salt, but they're packed full of flavor, all right? So we'll add some of that. And it may be deceptive and look like I'm adding a lot of seasoning. I'm not, compared to how much we're gonna put in this dish, okay? All right, so I've added my Mrs. Dash. Now, I wanna do some onion powder, all right? This is just some Badia onion powder, all right? We'll add about that much. I want to add a little bit of garlic powder. I like to use Lowry's because it also has a few things like parsley in it, all right? Ground parsley. So I like to use that. All right? And I'm gonna leave my seasonings handy or nearby because we're gonna be using them again in a few minutes, all right? I'll add some regular black pepper, and this is the ground black pepper. You can use cracked black pepper, anything like that. I just like to use the ground. And now we're gonna add some salt. Now keep in mind, you're salting for the entire dish, all right? So about that much. All right, now we take our whisk and we whisk it all around. Now some people would actually season their dish after it's all done, but I like to season it at this point to make sure that this mixture is already seasoned because this is what's gonna reach everything else, all right? All right, so I have that. Now, I'm gonna sit this aside, right there. Now I'm gonna start working on my broccoli. Now, I got this broccoli out of the bag. It's frozen broccoli, but as you can see, some of the pieces are kind of big, okay? So, I'll take my knife and just kind of chop some of the pieces up, and we're gonna put these directly into that bowl, okay? Just chop them up. It doesn't have to be in a certain cutting style or anything like that. We'll just loosely chop them, just like this. And you can not only do the florets, but you can do the cutlets as well. So it'll be florets and cuts. I love broccoli, so it's one of my favorites. So I don't mind any part of it. So we're just gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna just grab a big handful of it. You can do this, just grab a big handful. If you're with your kids, you can just kind of get another type of knife and have them cut your broccoli, you know? As you're doing your other things like seasoning or something like that, you can have them cut your broccoli, all right? And then some of this is already pretty chopped, so we don't have to do much, all right? So we're done with our broccoli. I'll take the rest of this. No child left behind, so we will grab all of our broccoli. Here we go. I'll wash my hands really quick. Okay. Now we have our broccoli inside. What we're gonna do is go ahead and incorporate that broccoli just like this, all right? So now your broccoli is kind of marinating in your soup, all right? And we're moving, all right? So I'll take my cutting board. I'll rinse my cutting board off. And my knife. So we're ready to add our chicken. So I'm gonna take my ring off. And we're gonna go ahead and add our chicken. And what I have is some Purdue chicken breast tenderloins. I like to use these because they've already kind of been broken down a little bit versus the full size chicken breast, which you can use, but you'd have to break it down a little bit. So the tenderloins are already kind of broken down, so I like to use those because it's just a lot more simple. All right, I'll take my knife, open the pack, and we're gonna use all of this pack, all right? And this is a 1.2 pound pack, all right? All I'm gonna do is pull all of my chicken out like this. You can put them in 2 separate stacks. And make sure your knife is sharpened. And literally you'll just go through like that into small little pieces. Just like that. And I'll show you when we're gonna break them apart. All right, so we have a little pile like that. I'll do my next 4 to 5 pieces. Just into whatever size pieces you want. If you want larger pieces, you can cut it into larger pieces. If you want smaller pieces, you can cut it into smaller pieces. And each piece will look something like this. All right, just a little bite-sized piece. Enough to get on your fork. And the reason I say make sure your knife is sharp is so that you can cut through it just like that, all right? Now, what I want to do here is add just a little bit. What time are you serving? I'll probably serve this for dinner once everybody gets home. So I'm going to take a little bit of salt and just kind of sprinkle this. Now, yes, we've already seasoned our mixture, but this is so that your chicken actually has a little flavor, all right? So we'll take some pepper, and you can do this right on your cutting board, all right? Just sprinkle the top, and I'll show you when we mix it together how it'll break the chicken apart. And a little garlic powder. You just do that. And this also contains your mess. Sometimes I can be a messy cooker. So I try to like use a surface as much as I can so that I'm not dirtying multiple surfaces. So I'm just gonna take my hand and just kind of rub the chicken along with whatever excess seasoning was left on the cutting board. Can you guys see? Okay, yeah, you can see. So now I'm literally gonna take this chicken and put it in my bowl. Just like that. Chicken done, all right? I'm gonna wash my hands. All right, and it's important to wash your hands after you've dealt with poultry. You definitely don't want to contaminate the rest of your kitchen with your poultry. Salmonella typhi is a thing, and we don't want to mess around with that, all right? So I washed my hands. Got a paper towel. Gonna dry my hands. And then we're gonna do our rice. Now, I just use like a parboiled rice, just like this. And what I'm gonna do with this is I would pour about a cup of my rice right inside the pan, the bowl. All right? Then I would stir everything together. And what you wanna look for is to make sure that your rice, you kind of see it in every scoop that you bring forward. All right? And the rice is literally based on what it is that you want, okay? So, I think I want a little bit more. I'll add the rest of this, all right? So, we have about a cup and a half of rice that I've put inside, all right? Now, we're gonna let this sit for a second, and I'm gonna pause and show you what I've already done. Now, this is essentially done, all right? All I have to do is put this in my pan, and I'm gonna do that in a second. But after about an hour in the oven, baked, I'm gonna show you what happens, all right? What you'll have is this. Now, as you can see, the rice has already absorbed all of the soup mixture, all right? And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take some cheese and just kind of spread that over. This is after about 45 minutes to an hour in the oven, all right? I put it on about 400 degrees, and this is what it turned into. So I'll take my cheese and I'll just kind of lightly spread that across the top. Almost like you would do a baked macaroni and cheese, all right? So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put this back in the oven on broil, all right? Just so you guys can see what the finished product looks like, okay? All right. So let's get back to our dish that we've already started together. The next thing we're gonna do is make sure we have a pan like this. It can be an aluminum pan, it could be a glass casserole pan dish that you have, anything like that. I use this because sometimes this is easier to kind of get in and out of the fridge. It's great for leftovers. All right, so I'll take some Pam or any type of something to kind of coat the pan so that it doesn't stick too much. I'll make sure that the pan is coated. Then I'll take my mixture that we prepared. It's been sitting, so all of that good soup is in the broccoli, all right? We'll just take this and pour it in our pan. Just like that. I'll take my spatula and just go along the pan to make sure we get everything out of there. Just like that. All right. So now we have everything in our pan. You'll just kind of smooth it out. And as you notice, some of your chicken may kind of concentrate in the middle. So you may want to just kind of spread that out a little bit, okay? Do we have any questions so far? I know I'm moving kind of fast. Do we have any questions? All right. So a big thing is that you must grease your pan, all right? Especially if you're using like a glass dish or anything like that. You want to definitely grease your pan so that you don't have so much of a challenge when it's time for cleanup, okay? So this is all set, all right? Now, here comes the most important part. Whenever you're making this, you're gonna have to have some aluminum foil, all right? Your aluminum foil has to be really tight on your pan. So I would do a double foil. And that just means cover about 3/4 of the pan with the foil and then go ahead and grip the sides as tight as you can, all right? It's gonna be that steam that gets locked in that helps to cook your rice, all right? Just like that. And then we'll take another strip of foil and we'll cover the opposite direction about 3/4 the way. And you always start on your sides. Yes, we'll put the directions up, all right? Good, Laura, I'm glad you're with us. All right, so now we have a tightly foiled pan. Everybody see? You just want to make sure that it's really, really tight, all right? So now, I'll go ahead and put this in the oven. Like I said, you want to put it in the oven for about an hour. And what I just put in the oven a few minutes ago is now done, and I'll go ahead and pull that out. That looks amazing. So you see, the second part of it, when you pull it out to put your cheese, if you like cheese, only takes a few minutes. You're gonna put it on a medium to a high broil setting, and it's gonna be done, okay? And this is our finished product. I'll show you. Voila. That's our finished product. Now I'll crack into it and let you see how it looks. Perfect. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold you guys any longer. If you have any questions, feel free to go back through the comments or message us here on Facebook. We love doing this, and we do it every Friday at 12:30. If you have any suggestions about different dishes that you'd like us to try, just let us know. We'd love to try any of the dishes that you guys would like us to try. This week we did a dinner dish. Next week we'll try something different. So let us know if you actually make this dish at home. Can you hashtag us at EdVenture Eats? All right, hashtag us at EdVenture Eats. Comment, like, share, and replay this video if you need to, and we will post the directions a little bit later. All right, I'll see you guys at dinner. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope your kids enjoyed it. We will be back again next Friday, same time, same place, and thank you guys so much for joining us. Bye.